Right, special guest today, guys. You ready to be schooled, mate? You want to hear about the involuntary nervous system? We have two involuntary nervous systems. Well, you've got parasympathetic and sympathetic. He's having none of this. Go on then, mate. So, two involuntary nervous systems. You've got sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. So when trying to differentiate the two, think of sympathetic as speed up, S for speedy, works. This system has stayed and developed as we've evolved through time and was intended as a survival mechanism. Are you listening? Otherwise known as our fight or flight response, which gets you in a readily state for incidents such as running away from a grizzly bear, or to make it more relevant in these modern day times, running away from a fucking bee. Think of it as a stressor system, cortisol and adrenaline. And then you have parasympathetic. Think parachutes. Parachutes slow you down. I'm a clever bastard. This has the role and responsibility of calming down and regulating the body back to a resting state, like when you sleep. And it was once upon a time where we would spend most of our day in a parasympathetic state. But now the tables have flipped and we now find ourselves spending over 3/4 of our day in a sympathetic state. So let's look at an example. Yes, Julie, 53, the accountant, wife and mum of 3, working 60 hours a week. Julie gets 5 hours of sleep a night, if she's lucky. That's a stress. Julie then wakes up, smashes 4 coffees in the space of 2 hours. That's a stress. Julie then commutes to work. Judging that public transport is shit at the best of times, that's a stress. Julie then has a stressful day at work. Need I say more? Julie then goes home to partake in a HIIT workout. High intensity interval training. High intensity. With the notion that it will calm her down, but it won't, because it's a stress. As stated before, Julie has to be a mum of 3. Now, I'm not talking from anecdotal evidence, but watching from the sidelines, that sounds like a stress. Julie has a poor diet with pretty much 0 nutrients and lives off takeaways. That's a stress. And then to top it all off, Julie finds herself throughout the day scrolling through Facebook and Instagram and other social media platforms, constantly comparing herself to others. Her friends on holiday, models, celebrities, or anabolic, roided up dickheads. And it is all these noticeable and unknown stresses that accumulate and result in only what I can describe as a volcanic eruption. And it is no wonder that Julie finds herself regularly making bad decisions, experiencing severe mood swings, she can't focus properly, she can't remember anything, and these bouts of chronic stress actually inhibit part of the brain that give her the ability to have discipline. It's your prefrontal cortex, by the way. Cue the emotional and binge eating to hit the reward part of the brain that will give Julie the immediate relief she's looking for and make herself feel better. This, I will highlight, is a short-term fix. And so, with all this going on, unknowingly, Julie is putting her life at risk. She is constantly getting ill, she gets infected, and this is down to her heart excessively pumping blood to parts of the body such as the muscles to get her in a state of readiness for fight or flight. And due to the lack of calm, rest, down regulation and recovery, she is restricting blood flow to other areas of the body where sufficient amounts of blood are required, thus damaging her immune system. So, in order to prevent all of this from happening, whatever stresses we put on ourselves, we need the equal capabilities to recover from those stresses. Class dismissed. You enjoy that one, mate? See you next time.